Well, hello and good morning. Long time no see. We'll see if I post this. Something tells me I should. Even though, man, some of these topics, right? Fucking hardcore. Not to be taken lightly. Concerns all beings. And yet each is a being unto themselves. But there can't be one unless there was another one before. Actually two. The parents. And the one born can't do anything in the world or have anything without all the others providing clothes, shelter, technology. Excuse the coffee pot. Mr. Coffee percolating over here. Man, I hate this topic. I love it. I hate it. It's too close to home. It's too far away. So take with it what you will, because it's the Gobi Desert, right? There's this tricky thing about people. It has to do with the number 10. So number 10 is like the Ouroboros. It's a snake eating its tail, right? So the first number is 0, but that's everything. That's the whole universe. Is that light or is that dark? That's why they put the line through it sometimes to show it's a 0 instead of an O. Because that's what people say when they get it, or they think they do. Oh. Well, that's good. I got a mind in there that's it's on one. It's kind of caught up, right? So everything starts with a 0. Then somehow the 0 split, right? And became everything else. So that's that's a challenge right there. It's simple, it's complex. You all up to 9. And bam, now you got the 1 and the 0. But how do you get 1 ahead of everything? But where you came from, everything before that, it started at the beginning before time. Yeah. And the tricky thing about a person's ego is, so, hey, look, it's 313. Whenever you tell anyone something, see, most people are divided up top. I mean, everyone's got a forward and a back, kind of a division. Like you can take something in and go about your day, and then it'll make sense. Senses will come up. That's sixth sense, right? But then, so the problem with the ego is it? Oh look, it's 351. Is it so you tell somebody something, usually half the time they're not even listening to you. They're in their own head, and in the half, that was at 404. Yeah, they're a file not found. um, you tell somebody something, and the first reaction is to refute it. And if it's to just accept, like, yeah, that's almost as bad. But that's innocence, at least, right? You're just taking a run. So, as people are trained and grow up, which obviously everybody has to, yeah, it has to. So it's all hidden in language, right? This huge problem, which shouldn't be a problem, but it is. Uh, you tell somebody something, first thing you're going to do, try to prove you wrong. Or they're going to disagree with you. The easiest way to see this is looking to Congress. That's why DC is a metaphor of an inside-out, inverted, somehow a makeshift creation of the Whore of Babylon, and the president selected from all the snakes, and then all the ground snakes, and then put on top as the head and the asshole of all the big-ass snakes, which are the little guys in Congress. This is not a disrespect, it's just a metaphor. And if you go to Congress, man, those people in there are so educated and this and that. But half the time, it sounds like a fucking riot. People are yelling at each other, they're cutting each other off, and when they let each other speak, they're calling each other names, they're digging each other's past. Like, it's about this, that. It's never about shit. And nothing ever gets solved. And it's a complex world. Now I've been stuck with a certain mission in life. And it has to do with this God piece, this God particle, right? I've been led here. I came here on my own power, not knowing where I'm going. I've been knocked around to make sure that there's no other direction I could go. Any direction I wanted to go, I was pushed off of, only to be pulled back in. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Mm-hmm. What is it? What is it? Well, everybody stays off in a way, and everybody can fight amongst themselves. It's kind of like what I was talking about the president and Congress. Or the monarch in parliament. Whatever. Or the papacy and all the vespers. And bishops, cardinals, blah, blah, blah. All the way up, right? So there's this huge hierarchy of a huge fucking mess. And one guy sits on top. That has to be the woman. That has to be the whore of Babylon. In charge, looking like a dick. Or looking like an egomaniacal. Or I have too much power. And everybody else has to go to work. And everybody's got to provide for him. And how does that all work out, you know? But it's because of the imbalance in nature, in human nature, and trying to balance it out better and in a faster evolutionary fashion than nature. Where, hey, one year there's a whole bunch of bananas, and then the monkeys, there's lots of monkeys, there's too many monkeys, and then all of a sudden, whatever eats the monkeys, now the next year, now you got too many predators, because there were so many monkeys, the monkeys couldn't even protect the monkeys, there was too many monkeys, they're fucking falling out of trees, and everything could just come by and eat them, and the monkeys falling out everywhere that had to be eaten. And then we got all these predators, and then next year, oh my God, there's no monkeys, there's no deer, there's all the predators are killing everything, and then there's nothing left to eat for the predators, so now all the predators are dead. And then the non-predators usually have more babies than the predators do, and so then the next couple years, that boom, there's a blossom of everything else, and then the predators, and so it goes back and forth, and that's a problem in human nature. We can't have that back and forth. We can't have civilization build up and fucking collapse, and then one year there's a whole bunch of serial killers. Next year, all the serial killers die off, and now we just have a bunch of people under 10 years old, and back and forth. And see, that's what happens from war. We know that. So I want to get into this a little bit. This most favorite chapter and most elusive, magical tract in the Bible. Giving a hint and a warning and a curse to all beings is Revelations. So, chapter 17 is where I want to talk about for a minute here. So, it's called Babylon, the prostitute on the beast. All right. So, the bee kind of represents your spine. Let's just put it this way simply, first of all. Let's put it in the 3D. And the top of the bee, that's your head, which you can consider separate from your body because close your eyes, it's still there. You know, most of the time your body's running separately from your mind and da-da-da-da. And then your body being the bottom half. But it's still one whole thing. Right? So, Babylon. So they divided everybody. Bam. Straight up on the spine. That's the Bible's job. That's why it's the B, a B, dividing everybody's mind above and below, and everybody's spirit in their body above and below, and everybody's body is a. How are we going to get everybody here so we can work together? Because everybody's got their own God and shit. Everybody's got their own masters they serve, or their own desires, or shit they got to do, or whatever the case is. But that B also reminds us, before we get into this, the simple of we were born in the universe. There's our top B, the top of the B. All the greatest knowledge of civilization to begin with came from above. And that was the easiest way to control people. For better or worse, necessary. But it also gave some people way too much power. So there's a beast. And the universe is prostitute. Look at how many worlds it made. How many people it made. How many animals. How many creatures. All this. And where's our mama at? The universal mother. Seen as, golly. Oh, but no, see, the sky's a nice one. I mean, though it can bring down a ring of destruction and destroy Earth in one fucking giant rock. That one was considered the monster, the chaos beast, in one way. Well, then the bottom of the B, So, looking down, hey, the other prostitute is the ground, is the earth itself. Look, made all this shit. Who's taking care of it? Mother Nature? Shit, yeah, shit eating other shit. Dogs eat their own shit. Fucking, one thing comes along, puts its babies in that shit, and climbs out, and it's just like a body that's exposed inside out. The earth is. It's beautiful and it's gross. So there's the other monster, beast, prostitute, Babylon, above and below. We're trying to get everyone here to sea level. And also B level. Is the ultimate thing. Not to insult anybody's interpretation and what people want to believe or think. because everyone has a right to think whatever they want to. And of course, they're always going to think the opposite of what you have to say. And then they're going to look for some way to prove it wrong. I'm just reading off the page here. It's just simple as fuck. To 17. Let's see here. Okay. So then the third one, the third world, See, so there's that one. There's this one, and then the third world. They split that one 2 ways too. But you could call that civilization. All of civilization. But especially the older the civilizations, it's dog eat dog world. See, just like the universe, just like nature. Brother killing brother for a piece of bread. Somalians, a couple gun lords or whatever run the whole fucking country and just hand out some leaves of cat. It's like cocaine you chew on. Just go recruit people, orphans, people who ain't got nothing better to do. Give them some drugs they don't need to eat. They're all hyped up and do whatever you say. They can't get the drug unless they come to work. And it ain't like they're leaving because, well, once you're in, you're in. There ain't no out other than death. That's a pretty sick place. And yet, in some ways, it's about what it comes down to: a family, business, world politics. Just the balancing all this shit. So let me just read this first part here. One of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and said to me, "Come, I'll show you the punishment of the great prostitute," who is the concept of God. How we all got to this understanding. And how God's divided between all the religions because they're all wrong, but they all came from the whore. See, in one way, Universal Mother could be seen as Durga Maya, or, the Universal Mother, Kali. And she has many forms, but mainly it's you call her or wipe everybody out. Then they split that D and made it so, okay, we're going to balance the shit over and under. And turned it upside down. And then they made the Bible. They turned it upside down and split it to make it somewhat palatable and understandable and regular and normal and more about politics and rulership and then the crazy story about the divine Mary and Jesus and Joseph. And then all the other prophets. But these are stories about each person's personal growth. And so that's Mary. They turned her into a lamb. Because, well, everybody who woke up was born of a virgin. Technically. But mostly the innocent that for some reason just wake up. I mean, it didn't work like that for me, but I'm a different character all in itself. Because those people are easy to lead. So then you got a flock of sheep. People just follow along because, well, you're just showing them the apple. The apple tree's that way. Let's go to the apple. And then everybody gathers. So there's your churches. You don't disrespect religions or churches. We're just discussing the whole shit in the bag. Because the whole earth is a hell in a handbag. And so, the great prostitute is the earth. Is
the civilizations of men and their territories, the leaderships, the prostitutes, all the people under them, is those who awoke. Those that gained some of the knowledge to get there were made to be, oh, well, we got to separate those ones out separately. Because they're the only ones that will actually know part of the real story. And, well, it's a snake. It's pretty twisted to get all the way here. Back to ground zero level at. So, I can't quite say it is what it is because, well, if it was that simple, we wouldn't live in a world like this, would we? With her, oh, yeah, who sits by many waters. Well, there's a lot of ways you could put that. Because, where's the birth of civilization? Oh, yeah, Tigris for Euphrates. Yeah. But the universe, oh, the Milky Way. Yeah, that's a place of many waters. Mm-hmm. Sky. The Earth is a place of many waters. Mm-hmm. You could say anybody that owns, say, Facebook, X, YouTube. Those could be the same. Sitting by the many waters of all our channels, right? Or every video that somebody makes. Oh, see, you're on top of your many waters. And that. Some ferment and some brew. Make my own beer. There he is. I cut down on my drinking. And had to put in the work. And it's free. So, Universal Mother, who woke us all up. But where all this God stuff and religion and hierarchy, where'd it come from? It came from this one concept since the beginning of time. About this one guy that nobody ever seen. Said to turn it around. So we could solve all the shit somehow. Knock some sense into everybody. I had to have everybody go in the wrong directions. Whatever they felt like doing anyway, right? And so, see, anybody could think, oh, this is about that one thing. It's about all things. With her, the kings of the earth committed adultery, and the inhabitants of the earth were intoxicated with the wine of her adulteries. Well, with the wine of her adulteries, that could be considered all the holy books. That could be considered everybody's prayers and missionaryism, whatever the right word for that is. And I mean, they even make sure everyone in church has wine as part of it, as the blood of, but oh, so you can only have a drop. So if you drink too much of this stuff, you might get to find out the truth. You probably want something stronger than that. Otherwise, you just turn into an alcoholic. Because the problem is you got to keep reading up, and you crash. It all comes back to the asceticism of the ancient practices that those that went without, whether they're lost in the desert, metaphorically or on purpose, or whatever. Once you go get delirious to some certain point, then it's almost like the body has somehow decided to give us ego, self, sense of self, of who we are, and separate from each other. It starts to both dissolve into the body and start to raise up like an hourglass turned over, and starts to bring about knowledge of the universal truth. But everybody else is going about their business. Doesn't give a fuck. They just rather go to work, go to church, go buy their beer, go home, watch their TV, play with their kids, whatever it is that. Carry on day to day. And so only those that were separated really knew shit. And nobody in a society understood that shit. And so that's why originally all the priests were the sinners. Because they're the only ones that somehow had to run from themselves, leave society behind, and then somehow turn around and come back and lead everybody as the one kicked out or purposely left on their own volition or whatever to build a temple so that everyone could worship whatever they came there for. But then the challenging thing is, well, we're not all here to worship you. You're right. But y'all need to understand something. But we can't. It's hard to come in and just, where the fuck did you come from? Well, I got mystical knowledge. Improve it. Do some magic. Oh, you did some magic. Oh, now you gotta go. Okay. We gotta turn this around. We're gonna make some magic. It's not on you guys. And the ones with the knowledge, we gotta be dumb. And amazed that you guys got the magic. And see how this keeps flipping over? It's ironic. It reminds me of Epstein Island, this passage. Yeah, I think that has something to do with it, right? I mean, it's to bring about some kind of question. Because in a sense, each of us, you could say, was raped by the thing that we could consider as God. But it's inherent nature that it's not something just to be like, oh, okay. And it's easy for it to become a new drug and obsession too. And it's tricky because how are you going to be a leader, but you can't have everybody worship you? But you're trying to get them all to worship themselves. If they worship themselves, well, you don't want them to get fucking big heads. They already got big heads, whether they know it or not to begin with. So how do you humble everybody and prove you're the shit? Literally and figuratively. You keep everybody in balance between here and there. And the angel carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. There I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast that was covered with blasphemous names and had 7 heads, 10 horns. And that's all mystical talking. But let's just go with with blasphemous names. They're woman. Yeah, because, well, what's God's name? Is God a male or female? Every room was split between the mother and the son. How many names they got? Infinite. And if we're all of one people, why do you have a different name than me? Why isn't everybody named Josh? Yeah, that's what they did. They made it so everybody was named Joshua. Secretly. And that's a spiritual, mystical talking point of this too deep to go into right now. But that starts with the letter J, that 10. As the spirit tells me, that's the problem. People any metaphor of what's happening, what we're doing right now. Okay, because well, all I can be is authentic and true. So everyone takes stuff and makes it their own. I tell you a joke, and for the next 40 years, as long as you're not around me, you'll tell that joke to a lot of people and make them laugh, and I'll think you're so fucking funny. And you took it from somebody else. But ironically, well, where'd you get a fucking hammer from? Where'd you get the concept even if you made your own goddamn hammer? You get it from somebody else. That's the issue, right? Sorry, I need to pause. I'm getting some feedback. Hold on. Well, no, I don't think I'm gonna post this. I know who I am, and what I'm doing, and what I'm thinking, and I just flow. But ever since, about election time, I was to have this other talk back. It's trying to guide me, trying to mislead me, and I was causing conflict here all the time. And that's why I haven't been available. Because I'm fighting God's battle all by myself. And God's battle, fucking A, God's what's the fucking wrong with everybody else. That's what the universe showed me. God damn, I thought we were human beings. All of one type. No matter whether you got slant eyes, you got black skin, you got albinism. That's where it comes down to. I mean, imagine Santa Claus show up at Christmas. Everybody steals his gifts and goes around and gives them to everybody else and says that they're Santa Claus. That's kind of what it feels like to be me. Wake up in this world. Where, well, what churches are you going to choose? What the fuck? All or none. So, here's a challenging one. Passage 6. I saw that the woman was drunk with the blood of God's holy people, the blood of those who bore testimony to Jesus. Not of Jesus, to him. And there's a challenging thing, because that can look a couple different ways, considering, so who's God's holy people? And then all the ones that just submit, or whatever decide to be church, base their life on Jesus. And is Jesus in everybody, or is it something outside of space and time, or is that actually a real guy? As a title that is forced upon him. So everything's been divided. So, I mean, all the musicians, damn near all of them, that's like a prerequisite. You have to have knowledge of God, otherwise you can't make music, kind of. I mean, that's where rap music comes from, right? So, those people are God's holy people, in a sense. And bearing the testimony to Jesus, Jesus aside from him, and cornered all in, right? When I saw her, I was greatly astonished. Then the angel said to me, "Why are you astonished? I'll explain to you the mystery of the woman and the beast she rides, which has 7 heads and 10 horns." That's funny because I hadn't read this other part. I guess here we are, right? Fuck, see, I'm cornered into it. I can't get out. I'm an instrument. And I'm not just an instrument. That's why the first and the last. Because who's the first? Who's the last? Everything was built off of one. And when you get to the end, that's the only one. But where's it all in between? Here we are. And the angel. On 17:7. This will be my 777 video. On 6/7. Dark Vesper 667. Video 776. Previous. See, people try to do this on purpose. And try to be like, okay, so I'm not gonna, I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna try to manipulate it to my way of seeing things. Okay. Well, that's not how this shit works. That's not how this shit really works. I will explain to you the mystery of the woman and the beast she rides, which has 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast, which you saw, once was, now is not, and yet will come up out of the abyss and go to see its destruction. Inhabitants of the earth, whose names have not been written in the book of life from the creation of the world, will be astonished when they see the beast, because it once was, now is not, and yet to come. That's a hell of a origami fold right there, considering it's been warning everybody since they made the book. And here I am on a metaphorical beast, but that beast is all those that proclaim from the woman all the blasphemous names and all the testimonies of Jesus. Right? and yet to come still. So what's to come still? Makes me think of Tecumseh, Washington. This calls for a mind with wisdom, and wisdom is known as Sophia. So you can say the Sophia is what a lot of people use, but Sophia is a lot of things. Mainly it's a misunderstood thing. It's emanations, like somebody's glow, or I look at you and I'm like, oh, you have blue eyes, and then what do I think of blue eyes? How does that make me feel? What does the word I mean? How do you spell that? With a letter I or with the E-Y-E? See, that's why it's the demiurge, but the demiurge. It's the monstrosity of knowledge. And at all times we're being bombarded. I mean, how many things are in this room? Headphones, controller, clippers, iWatch, coffee, blah, 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 blah. And everything is giving off a frequency. And has all these compounds and things in it, but you can only see the outside. But then there's the knowledge of, if you were an alien, you come in and you look at this, you're like, what the hell is this? A cigarette butt? The fuck's that for? It's not for anything, it's trash. What's it doing here? What's a filter? And you can just go on and on and on. How do you explain the world to somebody that's never been here? And the other problem is, once somebody's been here, everything becomes, it's all normal. It's just all whatever. And that's like the second form of ignorance. When everything becomes just normal. There's nothing deeper, nothing greater. You don't feel nothing. You don't seek out or witness and experience new experiences. And you want to limit your judgment down to, okay, well, I'm only this kind of person. This is the way I want to be. I want to fit into a little box. I want everybody to be like, okay, oh yeah, this is Josh. And nobody looks like this, because this is what Josh looks like. Anybody else is trying to copy me, better change these colors and shit, so everybody know, like, out of the 1,000 cats, that there's just one cat that's got a black spot here, and that one's Josh. As if we can't look at each other, and we don't give off our own Sophia, our own emanation. And so everybody tries to be something. And that's the challenging thing. What authentic and true is, especially if everybody's copying somebody else, or imitating, or trying to be like. And then the other difficult end of that is, okay, so what do you want to be? What do you want to do? Then who are you? Well, there comes the challenge of, I'm doing God's work. Well, what's God's work? Or what's Josh's work? What's Sarah's work? What's James's work? Well, what are each of us here for? Until we figure that out, and every person has to go to work every day. I mean, not that even if you stay home all day and you don't do anything, you play video games or whatever, you're still doing some kind of work. And they made it so, hey, it's going to cost you electricity, it's going to cost you food, it's going to cost you rent, da-da-da. So no matter what, everybody's doing the work, right? Let's drink my coffee here. So then here goes into a bunch of number stuff. But hey, they know numbers. That's too complicated. And I ain't get into that. But let me just read this part. So I just want to finish this passage. I'm already tired of talking about it. As much as something tells me to, I don't want to. That's when I know I'm in the right place, doing the right thing. Whenever I think I'm doing a good job, doing the work, making the boss happy, and coming bringing home the bacon and taking care of everybody, and I know I'm doing a good job. That's whenever everybody's kind of in a bad spot, right? Especially since, and that's where everybody's been put in a conflict. And then well, I'm gonna start my own business. Okay, what? Where's the part that has to do with you? And I'm not making. This is general. Each person's allowed to see shit however they want to see shit, and that's why there's so many points of view on this page. But it all circles around one central thing. Everybody's got a lot of opinions. But when it comes down to it, supposedly other people's opinions don't really matter. So there's something to think about. But that's the crux in itself of ego. If it doesn't matter what the fuck anybody thinks, then you got a big fucking head. Okay, so see, now I got everybody's opinion, together with some of my thoughts. And I ain't staying out there going, I'm a bad motherfucker. Yeah. Like, other people can do that. And yeah, I could feel it. Wouldn't listen to it for a second. And then the whole time, see, that's the thing about music, how it can turn around and like, huh, so why would you be listening to some other guy say how bad a motherfucker he is? And that make you feel good, seeing other people puff themselves up? Or are you putting that on yourself as a mask, going, yeah, I'm the bad motherfucker, I'm taking it from him. And that's why music's meant to fuck with you. And that's why, I don't know, especially if it's in God's hands, you believe in God. And whether you do or don't, well, there's still some force that fucking brought us all here. I mean, not one person could explain how DNA works. I mean, you could try all you want to. Wow, some lightning struck a pool of water, and then single-cell organisms built themselves into hippopotamuses and turtles and flies and human beings. But we're the only ones that have to talk to each other and think about shit. And yet everything else knows it all and doesn't know shit. And somehow it lives in another dimension. Their brains all live in another. But ours are all here. And that's, I guess, why they made the internet, huh? It's a dangerous concept. Now, another one, the Babylon, the prostitute, and the beast. You could call that the technology and the AI. So, let's see here. This calls for a mind with wisdom. And this part says, in quotes, it lasts from 9 to 14. Is a spoken part. But it starts with this. This calls for a mind with wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 hills, which the woman sits. There are also 7 kings. 5 have fallen. 1 is, the other has not yet come. But when he does come, he must remain for only a little while. The beast, who once was and now is not, is an 8th king. He belongs to the 7 and is going to his destruction. I don't want to get into that. I can, but let's move forward. The 10 horns you saw are 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom. That's everybody's 10. Here, change. Let's take it from you. And I like that joke thing. No, we're just steal each other's stuff. They don't have a kingdom. Not in stealing based stuff. Everybody's things. It's all right there. I didn't take anything. I'm not using anybody else's words. Here I am. You know exactly where they came from. But who for 1 hour will receive authority as king along with the beast? This is also talking about the process of before you were awake, at awakening, and after. And then looking at it from either side of the river, looking and talking back, which is what a lot of singers do. You don't know who's talking to who and how they're talking. And it's just screw with everyone's heads, scramble their brains. So when they say you in the song, who's you? Or are they using the letter U? The word you? Or, they talking to the listener? Or are they talking to, see? You don't know. Yeah. So that's how music is meant to be a mind fuck. It's all in spirit. it sounds different every time you listen to it, unless you attach it to a memory and like, oh yeah, it means that. That's the only thing it's about. Nothing's that simple. Not really. They have one purpose, and will give their power and authority to the beast. They will wage war against the Lamb, but the Lamb will triumph over them, because he is the Lord of lords and King of kings. And with him will be called, and with him will be his called, chosen, and faithful followers. Then the angel said to me, the waters you saw where the prostitute sits are peoples, multitudes, nations, and languages. You can call that the United Nations. You could call that this channel, aside from Josh right here. See, all my videos don't have shit to do with music. It's to people, places, and things, and myself. They made me do it all divided together. Or they. I don't know. This is how it came about to be. Then the angel said to me, the waters you saw, multitudes, nations, and languages. The beast and the 10 horns you saw will hate the prostitute. Well, in some ways, who's a prostitute? The church. Who's a prostitute? God. Who's a prostitute? Everybody. It's the prostitute, which could also mean faithful. All hate the faithful. Or hate one who is faithful. For better or worse, till death do we part, but we were already individuals. Whether we were before marriage, afterwards, and during. The contract has nothing, it has to do with simple terms and agreements to business. That's what marriage is about. To make as an inference to the structure of family. And how, fuck, everybody's going to run off or do what they want, or they're all going to cling to the tree and they're not going to leave. And so, then to mix everything up. I mean, 2 people get married and agree to sleep with whoever they want to do. And they have their business where their money's together. And their kids are together. And they sleep with whoever they want. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing against the law. Because marriage is a legal binding of finances. And government paperwork based upon your names and the shared property. Even though technically, let's not get into it. They'll bring her to ruin, leave her naked, eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For God has put in their hearts to accomplish his purpose by agreeing to hand over to the beast their royal authority until God's words are fulfilled. The woman you saw is a great city that rules over the kings of the earth. And you could say that could be the mind. You could say that is the universe. And, fuck, what rules over us more than the shit that's on the ground? Like, you want a new car, this or that. So, desire and necessity both have to do with a woman. The rules over the kings of the earth that concerns every single human being. Because the point of the ruler is to help moderate and foresee from a limited position with great and expansive power to help moderate everyone else. While everyone else fucking is like an ant farm without the orderliness. So keep everything so it keeps developing while keeping an eye on all the corners. Well, everybody relies on you, but nobody needs you. But there's a challenge. But 5-1. So here we are. I'd like to so Babylon has to do with the divisions of society. America, yeah, that's the whore of Babylon. Oh yeah, yeah. In a broken down of the word in spiritual terms, yeah, it says you're doing blaming America. Looks like you're the whore of Babylon. Looking at and blaming America. Because America is a place where every heart and mind is aligned. And that's everywhere in the world. So pride over, well, you know, who in this place, that place. That's why it's the United States of America. Because America has to do with where we're all trying to get to. At the same place, same time, and hold that bitch everywhere in the world. And all this stuff's important. If America is the globe, I mean, I got a bathroom, I got a laundry room, I got a bedroom. The Earth has a China. It's got a Mongolia. It's got a Russia. It's got a continent called Africa, but it's like the departments. He says department store. It's got all these different places in it, but it's one fucking house. You don't see the bathroom trying to break into anything in the bathroom, trying to break into the laundry room. You don't see the bedroom just sign up and go to another part of the house. But that is the complicated part, right? That's why the internet needed to be provided, and weirdly, why some places stay undeveloped. But then people don't want to stay there; they want to leave. They want to come like to America or UK or somewhere that's nicer, right? But then the challenge is, if everywhere in the world's the same, then we lose all the history and all the work it took to get here. At the same time as it messes up the value system of money and the cost of things. So balancing all this stuff out from all of human history to get to this place we are at now, where everything is so divided, but it's all hooked up. It's all plugged in the machine. So there's a challenging part of needing AI as a moderator too. Because this is a hell of a World War III. Me 3PO. You want a box? And it concerns everyone. And shouting at the TV ain't gonna make any difference. That's what a lot of people do. Why turn on the news?
Oh, but see, that's a funny joke. You're like, okay, you put on the football game. Ah, see, now they're happy watching it because it goes a lot faster. Oh, god dang, that was a stupid play. Dumb fucking ref. Da, 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 da. Oh, yeah, good catch. Go. When you watch the news, it's like, oh my god. This is ever going to change. It's all bad. Oh, a puppy was born and somebody saved it. I wish I was that puppy. Oh, more bad news. Then the other challenge is you don't watch it. Doesn't bother you. Because it doesn't matter. Or Matt. But then, if you don't look, you don't have any say in the difference. Or did you have any say anyway? Just want to make yourself unhappy. Unless that must be God's will. Like the way I don't like making these videos. I'm called to. And then either I'm all on, and once it's off, I don't want to put that up. Or I don't have a choice. I want to take it down. And leave it up. Man, they'll just change it. They'll just take it. Use it for their own. Is that a blessing or a curse? I don't know. If I don't speak, will anything ever change? Nothing does ever change. Not here. It's the last stop motel in the universe. Where my mother left me out to die. The government took care of me for a year. And it fucked me over and everybody in town too for a year. They all got to be self-righteous and try to teach somebody a lesson. And all just taught themselves a fucking lesson. Not like they'd learn though. And now, 3-4 years later, they're on the other end. Blocked from any kind of employment. People can have felonies, gun charges, bank robbery, drug charges, get a job anywhere. They have 2 little charges that were set up during the time and the government was fucking me over and set me up in the whole thing. And one thing, it's not supposed to be on my record. By law. Even looked it up. But it's self-professed employment. But I can pay $100 and I can mail them and get them to. I gotta pay to seal a record that's already supposed to be sealed. And I didn't steal nothing. Oh, but I got a theft charge on there. But everybody knows I'm more honest than anybody you ever fucking met in your life. For better or worse. So the people who are judging me, probably way bigger thieves. So what good is a record? If you paid for something, whether you did it or not, everybody can hold it against you for the rest of your life. So where's this whole thing about a log in somebody's eye, right? Nobody can take the sliver out of somebody else because that big huge fucking log they got. My log's a blessing to everyone. And it's my human right as a being. Free will. Business. They ain't free will.
Abandon all hope, all who enter. They should have that over every business doorway in every church in the world. Here, let's pull a couple cards while we're here, just for shits and giggles. Because, well, what do we have if we don't have trust? But if we're going over everybody's background check, that's funny. And trying to keep people from doing shit, so we can control shit when we don't have a fucking voice. And got more than another person. You need to take it from everyone to get it and think you're high and mighty. Well, yeah. So, we're given organization as I'm speaking about this. But it came in reverse because this is a challenging situation. A place for everything and everything in its place. The process of ordering objects into patterns to be more easily recognized. Because they say, oh, when you put things plain as day, well, then everybody will just take from it. And they'll just take it or leave it. That's why music and all this shit's all blended up. So if you think you know what's going on, you're like, oh, yeah, well, there's the answer. Okay. Because, well, if everything's in its place, and a place for everything, well, then everybody should, why would anybody go out to buy shit? Why would there be any stores? Why would there be a church? See, everything's been divided. So anything that's in its place and has a place, well, then how are you going to use anything if it's supposed to be in a certain place and it has its own place? And you have your own place, and you're your own thing. Then you got a whole bunch of people in bubbles floating in space with a whole bunch of objects floating in space, but nobody can get to the toothbrush, and the toothpaste is in another bubble, and we're all just floating along together, and nobody can do shit. And so that's why you could say, in a way, that the world has been double divided. It's just as fucked up as it always was. They just made it so that it goes through an extruder. So we have reverse organization. We have third house messages. Because obviously if you're here, then you must have came to get some messages. Because fucking I'm not doing this for my health. Considering most things I have to say probably make people want to kill me. And for that reason, everything's in its own place. And here's a reminder to myself and to everyone else. They're at the crumbling. It's like a church, but has an obelisk of a garden in it. That's beautiful. A pillar of light. I'm leaving you with this question. What are you clinging on to? And we're given symbol of the moderator. A decrease in arguing. Decreasing, arguing. But arguing is in reverse. So we're not arguing. We're telling you like it is. And maybe it's not that way there. To you. You have the gift of courage.